So what will happen today? So we'll give you some details about this year's residency. So we'll talk about the theme, we'll introduce the mentors, we'll talk about the formats, and also provide information about the workload and logistics behind it. We'll have a showcase of last year's residency and meet the last year participant, Aida, who is here to answer your questions and share her experience. We'll have a little creative exercise to see what kind of material we'll be using and get a little bit an idea on how to get creative, how to generate ideas quickly without overthinking, and how to be playful, because this is something that we'll need throughout the residency for everything that you'll do. And there will be time for your questions. We'll try to help you and answer you as well as possible. And after this, you'll have time to apply. We'll share the link, and there will be a couple of weeks to apply. So this year's creative residency is for students and new professionals who would like to gain storytelling skills in professional settings together with experts. By new professionals, we understand people who are quite new to cultural sector, so can be graduates, but can be also someone who changed career. This is not about the age, but experience within the sector. The formats that we'll be exploring this year are writing, social media, animation, and two new ones, collage art and 3D, so 3D storytelling. Here is this year's theme. We selected the theme Journey because there are so many ways to interpret and tell stories about it. It can be in space or in time. It can be to real or imagined places. It can be physical or symbolic. And a lot of content that we have on Europeana can be used while exploring this topic and telling stories about it. So I hope you are all very inspired by all the possibilities that the topic gives. I guess if you are joining this session, you think it's something for you, but just to remind a little bit. So this is for everyone who would like to develop creative skills. So we think that exploring cultural heritage collections is a great way to consume a lot of culture, but also boost creativity and enjoy playing, reusing, remixing the content that you have come across. A lot of people nowadays think, oh no, I go on social media, everyone is so good. I don't feel like I can create and feel blocked. So actually going to explore historical material and take a little bit of distance can be a nice way to kind of give your creativity a kick. This is also about telling a story about the journey theme. So it can be personal, like a physical move. It can be a more historical point of view, something imaginary. It's up to you, but there are many ways to tell it. So if you feel like exploring this theme, you are in the right place. This is also about commitment. So for someone who is really into getting a deadline, getting someone, so mentors who would look at their work and kind of making progress within a short amount of time, having something published, having something for your portfolio, having something that you can talk about in the job interviews, as well as meeting new people who are like-minded and also motivated to this kind of stuff. This is a way we want to work, and if you check most of the boxes, this is definitely for you. Time and workload. So we are now in February, so there is plenty of time to organize yourself because the residency will run from mid-May to mid-July. There will be 5 hours of online sessions. I will give some details about it shortly. You'll be expected to join in all the online sessions. There might be some emergencies and last-minute situations, but if you are thinking of applying now, think that there will be some requirement to actually commit and join the sessions. We are counting around 5 to 10 hours of your own work in your own time beyond the session. So this is about the research, this is about creating your project, also learning if you get tips from the mentors and need to pick up some skills about specific software or specific ways of working. We would like you to take this 5 to 10 hours to explore and produce your story. So here's some more about sessions and logistics. You get the access to the slide deck, so I'll not go in a very detailed way through everything, but it's also on our website where the application form is. But very important is to join the 2-hour brainstorming session on the 7th of May. This is for all the participants and mentors. And it's very important that you can be there because we'll explore the content. We will think about the stories we want to tell. We meet everyone. We also do some creative exercises and kick off the whole residency. So very important to be there. Each mentor will then arrange one group workshops for the format they are leading. So there is a little bit flexible timing. You agree it individually with the mentors, and it will be in a smaller group of 1 to maybe 3 people, so easier with scheduling. But this is also something that you should attend. There is also a chance to have a one-on-one session with a mentor, which would be like short and kind of like a review or a checkup of your progress. So make use of it. We heard from last year that having individual attention of someone while studying is now quite rare. So this is a very nice opportunity. And throughout the residency, the mentors, but also the Digital Storytelling Festival team are available to support everyone. So especially if you are not sure about the license of an artwork, you have problems with searching, you have the questions about collections, asking the Europeana team members is a great way to get troubleshoot. And mentors, it's really about your format, so collage, animation, social media, storytelling with 3D and writing, so more about the content of that. And at the end of the residency, we'll all get together again to review the work, to celebrate the achievements, to discuss the challenges as well, and then we'll publish all the work. So now I will introduce the mentors who are here with us. So firstly, Cosmina, who will be the mentor for collage art. Hi, Cosmina.
Hi, everybody. Hi, thank you, Alex. So yeah, my name is Cosmina Berta, and it's a very special occasion for me to be here because usually I wear another hat when I have meetings in European context, more in the direction of metadata quality and tech and so on. So today I'm here with mostly my heart, if I can say that, because I love making collage art with objects from Europeana. They are very special to me. They're very special anyway because they have a story. So I love using images that have a story so I can transpose their story into my collages and create a new one. And every time I make a collage and I tell people about my the objects that I use and their stories, I see their faces lighting up. So I'm sure this is very special for lots of people. So I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to meet all of you. And I hope we can create beautiful collage arts together.
Thanks, Cosmina. I hope a lot of faces will lighten up from the artworks that you'll create with your participants. Hi, Carola. You are joining us for the second time with social media. How are you? Tell us
Yes,
words
thank
about
you.
yourself.
Thank you, Alexandra. I'm fine. I'm very happy to be here and to be mentor for the second time. Um, I really believe in this project, in the Digital Storytelling Festival. I took part in the first edition as a participant, and I won with my digital story. So it's a long love story with the digital storytelling. And it was emotional to be mentored for other participants last year and to meet new people and to investigate the power of stories and to see how the participants created new artworks and new stories. I'm very happy to see that the mentors group has new people, new mentors, new colleagues. So I think that this will be a great addition.
Thank you, Carola. So nice to have you again. And
Thank
thanks for
you.
sharing all your story from participants of the festival to mentor. So this is something that is possible in European. Now we'll also hear from Nick how it is possible. Now moving to Mariana. Hi, Mariana. Social media mentoring again. How do you feel about that?
Hi, Alexandra. Hi, everybody. I'm really excited to be a mentor again this year. And to be honest, I've had a lot of fun last year, collaborating and mentoring with all the wonderful people who has participated last year. And I'm obviously sure that this year it will be even better. And it's really interesting how people use social media to storytell the things that they love and their passions and their history. Why not? So, and it's really interesting how actually even last year they have contributed not only with social media, but like mixing everything, like in writing and social media and 3D and animation and to create some wonderful stories. And I'm looking forward to work with you all, and I hope that you enjoy my mentorship.
Thank you. So good to have you back. And yes, there will be more great stories that we'll tell. Beth, a few words about writing.
Yep. Hi, so I'm Beth Daly and I work for Europeana for over a decade now. And I was a writing mentor in the residency last year. And if you've ever joined the Storytelling Festival in May, I've run writing workshops there. So you might have seen me there. And I have a background in creative writing and English literature. I'm a prose writer and do some poetry as well. And I'm really excited about working with a small group of people again this year. And what was lovely last year was that our writers wrote in completely different styles to each other. One was sort of factual essay, another was a kind of more personal journey, and another was complete fiction. And it was wonderful to see how they used, Europeana collections to develop these writings in completely different sort of styles and formats, but all brought something personal from their own selves, from their own experience into it. And I'm thinking journey is, even perhaps more captivating, even broader. And I'm really excited to see what kind of writing we can do, and really excited to run workshops with our participants and explore it together.
Thank you. I'm also very excited always about your workshops. So I'm very happy for the participants that they'll get the chance to follow them. So our next format is new. So if you play video games, you kind of get that 3D is important and cool, but it's also more and more important within cultural heritage sector. And in Europeana, we also find important to digitize, educate about digitizing, but also tell stories using 3D material. So this year we invited Mateusz to be the mentor of the 3D format. Hi, Mateusz, welcome.
Hi. So yeah,
would you like to take tell a few words about yourself?
Yeah. So my name is Mateusz and I work for an IT company from Slovenia. We are working a lot with 3D of cultural heritage. So we are scanning cultural heritage in 3D and we are creating virtual reality experiences, augmented reality experiences, different holograms and so on. So I was, of course, interested when I was invited to be the mentor at this residency. And yeah, I want to explore what can be done in relatively short time using 3D. And I think that the potential here is very, very, very big. It's very new field. I'd say also that regardless of your knowledge about technology, I think you can contribute something and we can create something interesting together.
Thank you so much. So what Mateusz just said is very important. So there's a relatively short time, but you can do it, you can commit, and you can really grow. Also, your starting level is not the deciding factor in being accepted or not. It's mainly about your motivation, your ideas, and your willingness to learn. So for every format, for 3D, which is quite new and it's possible that not many people have skills in it, but also for other tracks, we'll invite people of all levels to apply and contribute. And
Sorry, Alex, I'm sorry to interrupt. I know, Alex, can you maybe unmute yourself? I had to mute everybody because there was a disturbing noise at the background. Maybe if you unmute yourself, Alex, you can try again. Sorry for that.
Yes. Yeah, I heard the sound. I don't know where it is.
No, I couldn't find it either. So, but now you can go ahead. Thank you.
Perfect. So the last mentor I have the pleasure to introduce is Nick, our animation mentor, also starting as a participant of our gift making contest Give It Up and becoming a mentor of the residency. Hi Nick, how are you?
Hi everyone. Yeah, no, I sat on the other side of the fence many years ago doing the Give It Up. I just saw it by chance and thought, wouldn't it be fun to take some existing images? Because like so many people, and I've been running some animation workshops with kids recently, and the hardest bit of doing a story or doing an animation is having a blank page. So having lots of this material to work with where you can make sort of fun things, it's almost like the animated version of what Cosmina was saying of collage art, where you're taking existing materials and turning them into fun little animations. And usually they're only about 5 or 6 seconds long, but you can do quite a lot in that sort of time. And it's really, really good fun just to take things. And what's interesting since last year, because I know one of my participants is here. She's unfortunately on lockdown at the moment, but hopefully she enjoyed it last year. But there's a lot more sort of iPad apps coming out now, which I think has given people more accessibility to, even if they just want to do an illustration and just put some movement into it. You've now got software like, or apps rather, like Adobe Fresco. That's sort of come on leaps and bounds in the last year. And now there's Procreate Dreams. And just recently, Adobe Express have released some AI characters on their sort of free online tool. So I think it's really good now that animation is being pushed. And also at the moment with the Oscars looming around the corner, there's some really good animations that have been shortlisted. And I'm hoping to go and see Robot Dreams soon when it comes out. And I think Studio Ghibli, if anyone knows that, was Spirited Away and Howl's Moving Castle. There's The Boy and the Heron. So I think as well as 3D animation, I know Mateusz was speaking about augmented reality, but it's also good to see that sort of almost like a 2D animation techniques coming back to the fore. So yeah, I'm really excited. And it's been fun to sort of start off doing the GIFs and then turning into a mentor and seeing what other people do. So I quite enjoy that aspect of it as well.
Thank you so much. As always, I enjoy your enthusiasm. And as you said, the animation that historically is a quite long and difficult process with apps and tools that are now available is becoming more accessible. So even for those who have no experience but have interest, go for it and apply, because Nick can really help you learn from scratch. Thank you to all the mentors. Here's the application link. Maggie will pop it for you in the chat, and you can also access it later. We'll be also sending a recap message after the session, so it's hard to miss it. What we wouldn't you to do is to overthink and overthink your application and miss the deadline. So if you have something in mind, put it on the paper, edit, and send. Now Belle will tell us about last year's residency and also have a little chat with Ida, who joined us last year.
Thank you, Alex. If we could just go to the next slide. So I'm going to tell you very briefly about what we did last year and show you what was produced. So we had 8 participants last year, 8 new professionals, working in 3 formats with 4 of our mentors, so myself, Mariana, Carola, and Nick, you've just met. And last year, our theme was LGBTQ+ heritage and stories. And we worked through that in order to publish our stories that we produced as part of Pride Month last June. And what's really nice is that, as well as being published on Europeana.eu, there are also other places that we can share your work. So last year we published on Europeana.eu, as well as Europeana Pro, which is our website for cultural heritage professionals, but also on appropriate places for each format. So Giphy for the animation and Instagram for the social media. But it wouldn't have to be Instagram. There's other social media platforms available for this year. So if we go to the next slide, please, we will see all of the stories that were produced. So this is where they are on Europeana.eu, and I'm going to share that link there for you. And I just want to take a moment to notice how beautiful it is that we had 8 stories, and that fits in 2 rows so beautifully on our screen here. I've been pleased about that ever since last year. Every time we share this, that it all fits beautifully on that screen there. So I'm going to very briefly take you through what people produced, and you can go and explore them afterwards to see. So if we go to the next one, I think we've got animation first. And this is by Marina. So you can see there, she took an image in the middle there called The Kiss, and she animated it with this wonderful pride flag coloured hair going around the outside. It's just lots of fun, really great, really exciting. And then if we go to the next one, this is Ada's, who we're going to speak to in a moment. And you might recognise that Toulouse-Lautrec image that she's animated there. And for all of these posts, we did, all of these outcomes, we did a blog post on Europeana. So we shared the things, the animations or the stories or the social media reels, but we also had a little profile as well about the person and about who they were, why they were involved, and what they'd enjoyed about it. And we'll do the same again this time. Okay, next ones, please. The next ones are the social media. So they were all on Instagram. This one was from Eleni, and it was about language. It was about the dialects that arose in various different places across Europe in the queer communities. So it's really fascinating. And the next one was, yes, Belarus and other Eastern European countries. So we had a look at history in these Eastern European countries as relates to LGBTQ+ communities. And the last social media one was almost similar kind of thing, but this was to do with Cyprus. So Cyprus was a place that has been commended for being sort of queer friendly, gay friendly. But what's the reality of living in Cyprus and being queer? This was an examination of this by Audrey. And then we had 3 very different pieces of writing. So this one from Yasmin was kind of more like an essay. It was about Italy and how queer communities are covered in the archives in that country and what more can be done. And it's bookended by a wonderful conversation she had with her grandma. So it brought in this personal element to this factual exploration of Italy's queer archives. The next one was Joseph, and he was examining his own experiences of coming out, and he used material from Europeana that he'd found to illustrate how he'd felt during that process and what it meant to him, which was really lovely. And Joseph actually hadn't written before either. That's worth pointing out. You don't have to have a background in these formats in order to take part. So this was really something new that Joseph wanted to try out, and he made a good case for why he should take part in his application and ended up producing something, which was a really lovely thing to see. And then the final one was a fictional story from Tonya. So what she did was she created galleries on Europeana.eu of items that she'd found that she then looked at and created characters out of. And her ambition was to create multiple stories, but for the residency, we worked on one. If you go to the link I shared in the chat, you'll find it and you'll be able to read about Saskia. So how was it being part of that? So I'd like to now invite Ada to turn on her microphone and have a chat. And I'd like to ask you, Ada, how was it being part of the residency last year? If you want to go back to the previous screen, Alex, so we're not on that one quite yet.
So hi, hello. I really liked it. It was wonderful. The environment is very supportive, and that really played a huge part on the experience. It's really lovely to have one-on-one guidance with the mentors, and it's really rare. So this was also such a gift and a privilege. The whole process was great. It was really a wonderful experience. Yeah, everybody's really nice and very helpful, and yeah, it's an opportunity to create something that speaks to you and have fun, and also you discover Europeana's archives that are amazing and like very useful. And Europeana makes it so easy because you can see um, which materials are use free, like you can use them, and they tell you who to credit, and if you need to credit somebody, it's great for an artist, I think. And it's really nice to meet new people that are wonderful and supportive.
Yeah, and that's a nice point about the first session that Alex mentioned earlier, when we all get together and we all get to meet each other. It's also an opportunity for us to show everybody like how to search Europeana and what the licensing means and how to know what you can use and what you might need to do a bit more research into before you can use. So it's good to know that was useful for you. Have you carried on animating? Have you done anything else since then, or what kind of projects have you worked on since then?
I mostly do illustrations for now, but it was really fun. So I'm thinking that maybe I can start again this spring.
Nice.
We'll see. But yeah.
Yeah. Do you have any advice at all for anybody who might be kind of thinking, oh, I'm not quite sure whether I should apply. I'm not sure if this is for me. I'm not sure if I've got the right experience. What would you say to them?
Do it. Do it. And don't be afraid to ask for help or share your thoughts, and if you have any difficulties, because it's really, I don't like it when people say this is a safe place, because it usually isn't. But it's actually pretty safe to say your opinion here and what your needs are. So yeah.
Yeah, we certainly hope that that's the case. That anyone has a problem, we're here to help. We've got a big full team of Europeana staff behind the residency, ready to help with searching for things, looking at licensing, having ideas, So yeah, it's a very supportive environment. So I think you're going to be sticking around for the question and answer session in a little while. So that's wonderful. Thank you so much, Ida.
Oh,
so
I would like, if it's possible, to say that if you are worried about having, like, if you don't have a good computer, or if you have technical difficulties, the residency is actually very helpful, and you can work different ways around it. So, yeah.
That's a great
that's it.
point. That's a great point. Thank you. Okay, and on that note, we'll hand back to Alex for a little bit of creativity.
Yes, so we would like everyone here to experience a little bit what the European material is, how it is to quickly come up with an idea just playfully without like making a big deal out of it. So we'll do a little playful creative exercise, already introducing the theme of journey. So I would like you to go to menti.com, either if you have a smartphone around you to go on another device, or it's also possible to open that window in another tab and type this code 68765986. Or if you are on your phone, you can also scan the QR code. So to move from the kind of listening mode to creative mode, let's take a short breathing exercise. It's less than a minute, but just kind of to get yourself into the creative mode. So for now, just follow the instructions on the screen. I hope you managed to refocus. So as I mentioned, the theme is journey, but usually journey starts from somewhere. So put a pin on a place that feels like home to you. For people who don't see home on this map, which we understand, you can leave a little comment in the chat if you wish so. We also had experience of people using like an Antarctica or middle of the ocean, if this is more like unprecise location. And if you wish to leave a little comment or say something, you can do so in the chat if you want to share something. So quite a lot of homes in Europe, actually. That's nice to see. Birmingham because of the Peaky Blinders, of course. Mostly in Europe, yeah. Anywhere on the Atlantic coast, obviously, because you are surfing there. I understand. Great. So as you see, there are different ways to see home. It can be a place where you live, but also a place where you feel good or have a special bond with it. So keep this thought and what the home is for you till the residency, till your application. Another exercise, this one is about observation. So this is an example of a collage. Some of you will be making collage images. If you look closely, can you name the materials that you recognize in this image? Yeah, wood, but possibly imitation of wood, Maria, in the chat. Yeah. Ink, paint, plastic, iron, paper, textile, glass. So you see that there are plenty of materials, but also plenty of ways to actually see the same stuff. And this is the fun thing about collage. If you work manually, you really use these materials, but you can also use pictures of the materials while working digitally. So this is something to keep in mind. I pass to the next question to reveal something about the specific artwork. So what you have seen is actually not a picture of the artwork, but a picture of a postcard that was added to the collection of the museum. And you have seen the object. It was like a collage house building. So I would like you to write greeting, like on a greeting card, revealing something about the place on the image. So simple, not thinking too much, what you would like to write on a postcard from this place. Someone's dream house, so happy that we found a dream house of someone in the collections, Beth. Thank you for helping build my house. This is very nice. Home is where your heart. So more creative quote kind of take. Home sweet home. I made this den to share it with you. Pieces of memories, wow. Greetings from my brand new house made of reused materials. Wish you were here. We found an old house where we started to create art residency. It's a little messy, but it's a work in progress. I like this one, very relatable. Please help us renovating our house. Very nice to state your needs and invite your friends to help. But as you see, you got a little prompt here, very simple, and instantly we have 22 responses. I think it took a minute or something. So this is something to keep in mind, that you can quickly create ideas. It doesn't have to be brilliant. It doesn't have to be fantastic at first. You can just, by being playful and having some fun, already have a very nice thought, because everything that you shared here is very cool and nice. Greetings, this is where I was murdered. That's an interesting one. I think a good beginning of a story for writing format. The Upside Down World House, yeah, inspiration from culture, pop culture, and especially cultural collections on European are always welcome. Let's pass to the next one. I see everyone is warmed up. What do you see here? Yes, mermaid, a 3D model. I like swimmer and athlete. I didn't expect that, but if you don't know the context, why not? Longing, yeah, also emotions, nice. A tail. So this is indeed a 3D model of a mermaid from the National Museum of Denmark. I'll pass to the next question with a little more creative task for you. So from the description of this, in the description of this artwork, there was a text saying the mermaid meets the world with a scream. What is she thinking or saying? No more plastic is brilliant. Where's all my water gone? Oh no, climate change. Save the oceans. I can't breathe. You humans are horrible. I lost my voice. Don't mess with me. I want to live a normal life. So here, as you see, it can be funny, but it also can be serious. And depending on who is looking and who is writing, you'll get a totally different story, which is cool because each of you is unique and has a unique voice, imagination, and lived experience, which makes you a unique storyteller. So, you humans are horrible. Some of us are. I want to choose not to be both fish and human. Interesting. My phone is stuck. Can you plug in into a USB port? Maybe you can arrange it with Mateusz and give her some fun. So just to give you a little context of this image, actually, the creator of the sculpture was going through crisis of in her marriage, and this was the single artwork that she created during this time, and this was kind of like a journey through towards liberation. So something totally different from what you all put, but also interesting how this totally different situation kind of was resulted in this artwork. And this is a hypothetical situation. The gift comes from our Give It Up contest. If you could ask the aliens one question, what would it be? Is there actually normal? How are you? Nice. If someone has answers, you can use chat to answer and help the other. How to get to other planets? Does God exist? Serious stuff. What took you so long? Can you tell me who we are? Not you are. Nice. I like it a lot. I see a journalist in there. How do your children grow up? What games do they play? What books do they read? For a little historical story. Would you like a piece of cake? Very friendly. I hope they can eat cake. Asking to show your face. Cool. So this is a little, this would be your question for the aliens, but now we have a question for you. What are the aliens seeing? Are they surprised, excited, horrified? What do they think about this destination? And the most important, was it worth the journey? They are conflicted. Let's try out the restaurant, very practical. It's like a city trip, but then to another planet. Confused fashion choices. Oh. They are surprised that people hate themselves, or they are conflicted between love and hate. Stunned. Collect the form of life like a stamp or a coin collector. They are here only for the fun. Again, some serious stuff, some funny stuff. Depending on who you are, you'll see it differently. But the last question is about yourself. Describe a place or a situation that made you feel like an alien. Social life. At the party. Disco. Oh, biking experience. This can be challenging and new also for people within Europe. If you are from a non-biking country with mountains and end up in the Netherlands or Denmark. A war, so sorry. At school, family dinners. Metro station in Tokyo. In a closed airport waiting for non-existing flights. Standing at the side of the football pitch with all the soccer parents and not understanding what the shouting was about. University talks read by the chairman. When you accidentally traveled back in time whilst dreaming, yes, totally understandable to feel like an alien then. Watching on war. For sharing this personal experiences. So being able to be vulnerable and say something about yourself is also a component that will help you to tell a beautiful and personal story. I hope you had fun. That is it for our game exercise. Now we have time for Q&A. I'll stop sharing. You can either ask in the chat or unmute yourself and just speak if you have a question. No questions, comments, remarks?
Can I ask if we have anybody who is thinking that they're going to go and fill the form in at some point and apply? I won't ask you to say what you're going to apply or what you're going to write, but just maybe a show of hands would be really interesting. Have we got anybody who thinks that they would like to? I can't see all the cameras. Excellent, we have one, thank you, brilliant. Cool.
Applying for sure. Yes, Maria, the residency is indeed online.
There is a question there, Annemiek. Was it a total of 5 to 10 hours or per week? It was in total. So it was 5 hours of online sessions with your mentors and with your fellow participants, and then the 5 to 10 hours throughout the whole period. And that's our sort of estimate. You may find that you have loads of time and want to do lots more, or you may find that you're very effective and you can do it in a short amount of time. But that was our sort of rough estimate of what we think it will take. So 5 to 10 hours in total of your own time.
We have do all mentors work with everyone or everyone gets one mentor. So you choose your track. So writing, social media, 3D, animation, collage. And then you get one mentor and there will be also someone else who works on the same track. So you get one mentor and follow one track, but you meet everyone else and you also catch up on their work. So you are like a community, but you work in a specialist way with one mentor. I'm concerned that I have too much experience. Would this be a problem? It's up to you. I would say if you have experience with everything and if you think it's a useful kind of way to spend your time. So if you have experience in something, you can try always another activity. You can always apply. There is nothing to lose. But you can also try something that you haven't tried. But in general, experience is not a problem as long as you also find it interesting to participate and give your time and attention to this. Are you allowed to follow workshops of other tracks? So I think this can be a little bit tricky with scheduling and also with the ways people want to kind of interact and get attention of the mentor. But fortunately, there will be Digital Storytelling Festival on the 21st and 22nd of May. And there will be workshops for the whole day on different topics for a couple of hours that you can follow. So for this one, we might make an exception, but we reserve really the time of the mentors for their mentees. But join Digital Storytelling Festival for more workshops. And if you are interested specifically in animation, on the 8th of March, we are also running an animation workshop about women's history. So exploring collections related to women's history and making gifts and stickers, feminist and exploring content by and about women. So please join. Yes, we can send a link. And the Digital Storytelling Festival, we can also put in the chat.
Can I respond to there's a question there about will the results be published and shared with the name of the mentor and the person that made it? So yes, we will publish the results. I just and Maggie's replied that you get full credit for the work that you've done. But I also want to mention that if you don't want your name shared, and this was the case in one of the things last year, we can use just your first name and not your last name, or it can be anonymous. So if that's something that's going to stop you taking part, please don't let it, because we can publish it without your name if that would indeed be what your concern would be. But like on the other hand, if you want full credit, you will absolutely get it. And if you want to go and have a look at how we did it last year, I shared the link earlier. You can go and see how we presented everybody from last year there.
The name is very important. Great.
There we
so
go. That's fine.
You can totally publish under your name and yeah, share it with whoever you want once the link is live. Any other questions? We are kind of approaching the time. But as we said, join gift making workshops about women's history, join Digital Storytelling Festival for workshops and sessions. And if you have any questions, you can contact us by email. Check the registration form on Europeana Pro. And we are looking forward to receiving your applications. Anything to add, Beth?
I don't think so. Just thank you all for joining, and thank you for your participation. And we really, really look forward to seeing ideas coming through on the applications and working with you.
Thank you.